Hey guys, Melissa here and happy Throwback Thursday. So excited to be back for you for my first Throwback Thursday, and I'm using the first collection that I ever fell in love with Cocoa Vanilla, and that is the Make-A-Wish collection. It was the first collection I ever got, and I just love the colours and the birthday theme to it, but you don't have to create birthday layouts. I am today though. I thought I'd go a bit traditional with it, and as you can see I don't have much left as far as papers go, but I still have a few embellishments. That card there is the card that inspired my layout, and you'll see why very soon. The collection came with these amazing sort of mixed embellishment packs that had all sorts of goodies in them, and I'll play with some of these as embellishment as well. And I will say that those enamel dots to the right, very far right, are not part of this collection. I'm not really sure why I had them in my bag of supplies, but they were, so I thought I'd make that clear. So I've got this beautiful piece of floral paper, and it's the only piece that's 12 by 12 in length, and I was really keen to use it. I'm also using a cut file by Neat and Crafty Cuts, and it's one of the newly released ones, and they're designed by Anita, who's also on the design team. So here I'm wanting to mimic the paint stripes that are on that cut apart card, so I'm using some watercolours, and I haven't gessoed my background, and it's fine because I'm not using a whole lot of water and I'm not adding any more mixed media. Just some splatters of ink, but other than that nothing else, no texture paste or anything, so it turns out fine. And I'm using my heat gun in between each stripe and splatter just to dry it off so that I don't get any muddying of colours as I add all the colours on the stripe. And I'm sorry that I haven't put that card down lower so you can see it, but you would have seen at the beginning of this video I've got that photo of it, so you can always go back and pause and have a look. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of the colours. In retrospect, I wish I had started my green a little bit lower than where I did, but it turns out fine, and I will balance this entire layout with a little cluster on the bottom right. So there it is there with all the colours on, and obviously it's dry because I've dried it. Must say, if you don't have a heat gun, it's really valuable if you do mixed media, and these heat guns I'm guessing were made for embossing, but they have far many more uses than just using them for embossing. So I'm trimming off the excess, and I'm really happy with how that's looking. So there's my photo. It's of Brielle. She's our 6-year-old. She turned 6 in our lockdown, and I took this beautiful photo of her with these balloons that her older brother and sister had set up in her room, so when she woke up they were there. And it wasn't the birthday we'd imagined for her, but we made the most of it all being together. So we actually had 3 birthdays in the lockdown, or our lockdown. We had mine and Sam. He turned 13 and she turned 6. So at this point I'm going through all the embellishments, and I'm very drawn to colour matching, and that's what I was thinking I was going to do here. But as cute as it looked, to me it was too much, I think, with the cut file and the busy pattern paper and the paint stripes. But I'd definitely try it for another layout maybe if I did this again. It was quite fun actually, picking the elements that matched the stripes. So that's that pack of mixed embellishments, and I love them because they're textural and they're not just paper. And I really did have a lot of fun just picking out bits and pieces to go with this. So I love that little bow, that blue bow. I knew I really wanted to use it. A lot of these other embellishments don't make it onto the page, like the buttons and things, but yeah. To be honest, I left that in because I could have cut that out and you would never have known that I did that, but I left it because I wanted to show you that I'm quite real when it comes to my scrapbooking. It's not always easy for me. I actually had no creative mojo for a couple of weeks because I worked so hard in July. I worked a ridiculous amount of hours for my business and just was too tired to scrap. And I find that if I don't scrap, I lose my mojo. Now, here I'm wanting to add some pattern paper behind my photo just to add another border. I think because the cut file I'm leaving it unbacked and just leaving it plain. I didn't have many options. I didn't want to put anything with cut aparts on it, so it was either the white with pink or the blue with white. And I've gone with the blue with white because the dots are bigger and you can see a lot more of the blue. So quite subtle, but you can still see that it's there. I'm using that sort of heart floral wreath, like a wreath, but also like a doily. So I guess it's like a wreath in that I'm putting it over my photo, but it's like a doily in that it's also underneath. So that's my thoughts there. And I'm just searching for a little pop dot just to have a little bit of dimension and lift that corner of the photo up. So I only glued through the middle of the wreath, as you can see there, and then I've bent up all of the leaves. And I actually bent up the leaves before I even, probably off camera actually. So now I'm wanting to add some clusters around my photo. I thought that smile was perfect because she's my child that's always smiling. She's always happy, except when she's not happy, but most of the time she's pretty happy. Pretty easygoing. So I'm putting one main one at the bottom right, and then tucking another one just in the centre of the photo here. I did question whether I should be putting that flower there because you can't see sort of the top of the heart, but you can see that it's a heart, and it's really sort of a secondary feature. So I was going to fussy cut out this beautiful from this pattern paper. I'd used most of the paper, that's all I had left, and I think I'd kept it because I knew it would work with my girls. I don't use it, but I have kept it in because I know someone asked about fussy cutting, and I did show you in my last video, but I wanted to leave a little bit of this in just so you can see how I do it again. And the trick is to turn the paper instead of turning your scissors, if that makes sense. As always, I get a bit distracted, so I wanted to just add some dimension to the flowers and pop them up a bit. So I'm using these tiny little pop dots and just lifting up the leaves and the corners of the flowers. These little beautiful glittery hearts came in that embellishment pack. I think I ended up with 3 of them, and I'm just adhering them with some, what are they called? Glue dots. Yeah. So you can see here that I'm turning the paper, and especially so when I go around a corner. So if only I could fussy cut that fast in real life. So here so I decided not to use the word beautiful, and I've gone with the chipboard Yay, and then I've got a pack of thickers from my stash, and I'm just going with Yay 6 exclamation mark. So I'm loving that the 6 is quite subtle. It's just a sort of a shiny white foam thicker, and it's pink, has a pink core. So if you look at this layout in person, you can see the slight pink core. Adding some butterflies and doing my favourite technique of gluing the centres and then putting some dimensional adhesive on the wings. And then when you glue down the centre, you just want to hold them down for a bit to make sure that they are secure. So I'm pretty happy with how this is coming along. I'm definitely pleased that I didn't go ahead with putting all those colour matching embellishments down the side. I would have covered up the end of each of the stripes, and I quite like the way they sort of look imperfect. I did think about using that chipboard Celebrate, but can't really make it work. I do keep trying though. I did think about putting that doily on the very bottom, but in the end I've decided to put it on the right hand side like I've got it here. And I think that provides a good balance from everything being on the right. And like I said earlier, it also helps with the fact that I guess I've got more white space below the blue stripe than I do at the top with the pink. Now, it's not major. You probably couldn't even tell, but I can tell. So I needed to do something about that. And then I love that little card. I think it says something like, remember that you are so loved, which is perfect. And I forgot to say that I'm still distressing all my edges. I didn't distress the floral paper though. I quite like the straight edge, but I did distress that little tag and also the paper that I backed my photo with. So adding another flower, I think it looks really cute. Just adhering it with liquid glue and then lifting up the leaves like I did with the other flowers. So yeah, I haven't made a video for Cocoa Vanilla for a while. I haven't made a video for anything for a while because my daughter knocked my lamp over and my husband had to fix it. It's happened so many times. I've actually given up on that lamp now and I've got a new one. So hopefully that means I can get back into regularly making process videos for you. So here I'm so happy to get this little bow onto the page, just adhering that with a glue dot as well. And it kind of covers the bottom of the word loved, but you can still see that it says love. And then these might be the most beautiful enamel dots I've ever seen in my life. Just right there. I'm about to put them down soon, but they have glitter in the colours that they are, so they're absolutely stunning. I know I've seen gold enamel dots like that before, but these ones, the pink and the blue, also have that glitter in them. I think you can probably see it quite well. So I did want to get that little pink heart with pink sequins onto this layout, but I couldn't make it work. I think because I had the cut file heart and then I'd really focused on flowers and butterflies, and it just would have been too much, but I'm definitely going to try and use it on another layout. So here I'm adding my journaling, just talking about how she had a birthday in lockdown. It wasn't the birthday that we'd wanted for her, but we were all together as a family and we made the most of it anyway and tried to make it as special as we could. Like, we had a cake for her and yeah, she loved it. It was her day. So I may even come back and try and scrap the photos of the cake and everything with what I've got left in this collection too. So my final touch is to add some splatters, and I think this is the Heidi Swap Black, but it doesn't dry very intensely I should say, which I quite like. It's a bit more subtle. Trying to see if I can get one of those phrase stickers on, but I can't. So that is my final layout. I hope you enjoyed this throwback Thursday to the Make-A-Wish collection. Yeah, I loved making this layout and I'm so happy with the way it turned out after my struggle sort of partway through making it. So yeah, I'll be back again with you later in the month.